Camden, thank you for taking time with us off the block. You had time to reflect on the 5-set victory. What are your initial reactions to the win?
Yeah, boys came out and fought in the first two sets. Christian was leading the way. Jackson was putting some balls away. We had a bunch of connection work with the middles as well, and Nick Slay was just dishing a great offense. The next two sets, we kind of just lingered a little bit. A huge emphasis in that locker room was just being aggressive. In that third and fourth set, we just kind of were a little bit more passive with our swings, passive with our passing, and that ultimately ended up costing us those two sets. And then that fifth set, we kind of just got back to being aggressive. So being up 2-0 like that can't happen. Obviously, with how this season has gone for our team, there's going to be a lot of teams that are wanting to try and make a statement, and we're trying to do the exact same. So we have to understand that when we're up 2-0, that very next set, we have to play just as hard as we did those first two sets, and that every team is going to want to come in and kind of put it to us. And that fifth set, like I said, just being aggressive won us that game, and we got more aces, more kills, more digs. Just the energy kind of shifted a little bit more in that fifth set. So just trying to keep that with the rest of the season. And every match is a learning lesson, and today we learned to just continue what we're doing within our team.
Obviously, the cliche is serve receive is the name of the game. It seemed like there was a correlation between your serving and the team's success tonight. Do you agree with that?
Who's serving?
You're serving.
I think that serving is kind of a whole team dynamic. I can't go back and rip my serves if people in front of me are missing their float serves or vice versa. So being aggressive, making sure that you're putting your teammates in the best situation to win is going to be super crucial and key to every 5-set victory, especially like tonight when we served how we did in that fifth set. So I don't think we won necessarily based on how I was serving, but how everyone else was serving, because one of the big things that's talked about in our gym is don't go back and go ace for air. Kind of go back and understand who's in front of you, who's behind you, what happened in that last play with the last serve. So just being able to put continuous pressure on the opposing team, because you're not gonna win very many games when the 2-3 servers in a row before you are missing their serves as well. So
You're talking about having a bullseye in your back, but on the flip side, you have not dropped a match this year. How much pressure is it to keep that perfect streak alive?
Yeah, I actually don't really think it's so much pressure. Usually when teams are super successful like that, a lot of conversation is, how much pressure is that putting on you, just like you said. But I would actually say that's more of a motivator for us right now. We have a bunch of conference play coming up. We have a bunch of teams at home outside of conference that are coming from other conferences. So being able to continuously put in effort every single day to try and understand how we can be better the next day is a huge motivator for us right now. And that kind of goes with the streak. It's not so much of a stressor, but more of a motivator.
You have 3 matches start under your belt now. What's the biggest difference between how you're playing now versus 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, just being healthy. Back in October, I had some back issues and still kind of going through that. It's going to just be more of a sustaining thing at this point, just because season's already where it is. And the amount of work that we've all put in with this program and trying to get me healthy and just going into the training room every single day, just getting treatment, just trying to figure out things that work for me, what doesn't work for me, and just being able to get more confidence every single day within practice and lift has done tremendous work for me.
What's the biggest difference between, obviously besides passing, or the biggest challenge, if you will, between playing outside versus playing opposite that you're playing now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I love this sport, so every challenge is something new and allows me to learn a little bit more about myself and how I can bring that to each position. If I go back to outside, if I go to right side, I'm just learning a bunch. So just being able to be more coordinated with both sides of my feet, blocking wise, and being able to approach more efficiently is something that has been a huge challenge for me.
I know you want to talk about your teammates. So obviously, there's quite a few faces that have really stepped up for your team this year. Let's start with Jackson Hickman. He's definitely taken a step forward this year. What have you seen, not just on game day, but in the practice court, that really has elevated his game this year?
Yeah, Jackson has been someone that's been within our program for the last, I think this is his third year now. And he's been a fire every single day in the gym. So he just tries to come in, outwork everyone. And I mean, he came from Lewis. So everyone that goes into the MVB is someone that wants to work really, really, really hard. And I'm not saying anything poorly about the MPSF, but those guys all want to prove something to everyone else. So he's had that mentality, and that's kind of the mentality that he brings to the gym every single day. And just being able to fight every single point is something that he has made tremendous strides with this year.
And then speaking of the MVB, you have another transfer, Mr. Slide himself, Rico. How has he been able to take this team to another level?
Yeah, Rico is a huge voice within our leadership, and he has allowed a bunch of guys on the team to kind of express themselves a little bit more. The relationships that we all have within this team is unlike any other. I've loved this team through and through every single year, but this year is something special, and Rico just adds a little bit more of a spark to the team dynamic for sure.
And of course, you have two really good liberos. Let's talk a little bit about Jordan. What has he brought to the team this year?
Yeah, Jordan's a little fireball, so that's something that we all use, and we try not to take for granted, because not very many players can bring the energy and focus that he does.
And last question, you got to see Jalen Jasper go out for 30 kills, hit over 550 tonight. Is he the most valuable player in the sport right now?
I think that Jalen Jasper is doing amazing this year. I had a comment with some other people on the team this year that he's 100% kind of in the lead with all the kills that he's producing. So, I mean, there's full another half a season to go, but yeah, Jalen's been a dog.
Well, thank you for taking time with us, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck the rest of the season.
Awesome, appreciate it.